Dolls glow without a care. Red rice served with love so true. Kelligan shining in the view. Drums pounding in the distance. Dance ignites the night's persistence. Sideman calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Sideman calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Tomorrow chants, they rise, they fall. History carved in every wall. Tinian whispers ancient lore. Sideman soul forevermore. Sideman calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Sideman calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Sideman calling, feel the breeze. Taste the ocean, salty seas. Sideman calling, hearts collide. Paradise where dreams reside. Dreams
AP News, I'm Mike Hempen. Luigi Mangione is expected to plead guilty as early as Friday in the federal case accusing him of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. That's according to a person familiar with the matter who spoke anonymously with the Associated Press. However, the person cautions Mangione could change his mind. He is due in court Friday for a hearing in the case. A different aircraft carrier is heading toward the Mideast after reports of issues on the USS Lincoln.
The Navy says the USS George Washington aircraft carrier is leaving Vietnam and heading toward the Middle East, amid reports of mental health and supply issues aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln's one of 2 U.S. carriers in the Middle East. It set a record for uninterrupted time at sea during its deployment in support of the Iran war. CNN, the Military Times, and other outlets have reported more than one sailor has attempted to jump overboard, and families of service members conveyed complaints of low morale and supply issues. The Navy acknowledges the war has disrupted access to traditional supply hubs in the region and says that led to shortages, which are now being addressed by leadership. Several Democratic lawmakers are calling for greater transparency. I'm Jennifer King.
Some controversy about President Trump's directive on vaccinations.
The biggest obstacles may be the logistical challenges it poses for U.S. parents, health providers, and drug makers. Earlier this week, President Trump said the plan is to separate childhood vaccinations.
At 1 year, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than getting them all in the same day.
Health experts say vaccination rates are likely to fall because parents will need to take children to more appointments. There is also concern over the financial cost. Vaccine makers will need to build new manufacturing plants capable of producing millions of extra doses. Individual shots have not been marketed separately in the U.S. for decades. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
This is AP News. The Coyote vs. Acme movie is returning.
The abrupt termination of Coyote vs. Acme sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Everyone in the movie business was accustomed to sudden painful twists of fate, but the wholesale elimination of a finished film faster than you can say was something new. In the film, Coyote, after suffering years of defective products, takes Acme to court.
It's not your fault. There's probably someone to blame.
After an outcry, Warner Brothers put Coyote vs. Acme up for sale, and Ketchup Entertainment bought it for about $50 million. Now, nearly 3 years later, the live-action animated hybrid Coyote vs. Acme will finally see the light of day.
The name of the case is Coyote versus Acme.
On August 28th, I'm Lisa Dwyer.
I'm Mike Hempen, AP News.
April came sideways, took the roof off for the year. Then July came knocking on Rhoda's door. We counted every window, we counted every tree, and we counted every neighbor at the shore. And the radio kept talking through the night. Somebody's generator, somebody's light, somebody's light. We're back in the Marianas, Saipan, Tennessee, and Rhoda, hold on. Blue tops turning into rooftops. Every single one of us still standing here strong. Oh, 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 oh. We're back in the Marianas. Oh, oh, oh. And we're not going anywhere. Line crews in the sunrise, chainsaws in the rain. Somebody's auntie cooking for the crew. Trucks hauling August out of everybody's yard, and the flame trees came back greener than they grew. And the reef still breaks the water into wine. Somebody's daughter, somebody's fly, somebody's fly. We're back in the Marianas, Saipan, Tennessee, and Rhoda, hold on. Blue tops turning into rooftops. Every single one of us still standing here strong. Oh, 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 oh. We're back in the Marianas. Oh, 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 oh. And we're not going anywhere. Now November's coming, and the ballot's in your hand. Not for me to tell you, that's for you to understand. But show up, show up, show up, like you showed up in the storm. Every voice out on these islands is the reason we're reborn. We're back in the Marianas, Saipan, Tennessee, and Rhoda, hold on. Blue tops turning into rooftops. Every single one of us still standing here strong. Oh, 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 oh. We're back in the Marianas. Oh, oh, oh. And we're not going anywhere. No, we're not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. Good morning, Mariana.
Good morning, Marianas. Hey, we're just getting started. It is 7:51 a.m. here in beautiful Saipan. We've got a couple of great things going on right now, but I got to tell you, man, there is some craziness out there. This morning has had a crazy start. I'm not kidding. It has been a wild one for sure. And man, we've got to get a couple things updated for you. And one of those things is that we just got this morning, and it happened last night. And first of all, hope everything is okay with our lieutenant governor. Apparently, he was in a car accident last night, and we just got the info about it this morning, thanks to the folks over at Department of Public Safety. But my goodness, if you are the praying type, keep the lieutenant governor in your prayers. 1 second. Apparently we can't confirm whether or not he was released or not, but from the message that we got from the Department of Public Safety is that the injury details was that he had pain in the left shoulder, but he was in stable condition. But anytime anyone gets in an accident, you want to, hope for their speedy recovery and their prayers and all that other stuff. So, here, 1 second. Need to update something here, but we're hoping the LT is okay. The way we got it says right here, this was the incident summary, and what I'm doing really quick is updating this image that we put out for you guys, so you guys can see it and everything. But essentially, what happened? Oh, geez, boy, that got around quick. The vehicle was traveling on Tunkyoshi Road. The lieutenant governor was driving the vehicle, and he leaned over to grab something. And when that happened, that's when he veered into the other lane, and unfortunately, that's when he hit a power pole, and that's what ended up doing it. Sorry, updating this. Okay. Boom. Done. Save. Here we go. Let's get this updated for you, folks. Again, this is just happening in real time. Crazy morning for us, too. Trust me. This has been a wild one this morning. We got started, first of all, with the revelation that we had not received an email since 3:30 last night. Okay, is that the updated copy? I believe it is. It is. So there you go. Boom. And so if you sent us something yesterday after 3:30 all the way up until this morning, we did not receive it. It got all squared away, though, so we got that going for us, which is nice. The other thing is, oh, by the way, hey, good morning. Good morning. Coffee is good to go. Hey, good morning. We've got some guests coming in this morning. It's going to be an outstanding show for you. We got a great one lined up for you. You can't have a better day than what we've got lined up for you. But we, again, just giving you the update, what we've got. Again, so it was the lieutenant governor. It was in Azlito. He was injured last night when he hit a power pole along Tunkyoshi Kililaman Road in Azlito. It happened about 7 p.m. last night around that sharp curve over there by GPPC. He said he was traveling eastbound, which, if you're thinking about it, that's like going up the hill, coming away from the intersection. When he reached for an item on the passenger side of the vehicle kind of veered off to the left on the curve. He crossed into the opposing lane onto the shoulder where he hit the power pole and on the left front passenger side. So that's a rough one. The Gov was transported to the hospital. He reported some pain in his left shoulder, and he was in stable condition. Again, we don't know what's currently going on. DPS said they weren't unable to confirm if he was released or not, but we hope that he's okay. They did say that alcohol was not a factor, and they also said that there weren't any tickets that were issued, but they said that the operator was not under the influence, and so they're talking about the lieutenant governor. So we hope you're okay, LT. If you're seeing this, or if you get this, or you hear about this, we hope that all is well with you and that you're okay. So that's the biggest news that we got going on this morning. Now, we do have more stuff happening on the show this morning, but that is the latest that we got for you. In fact, we're gonna send a quick message, but let's get that info to you to make sure you know what's happening, and we'll kind of ease into the rest of the program. Now, in about 3 minutes, we're going to have the mayor of Saipan, who is going to be joining us and talking about all kinds of stuff. He he has like the Avengers of the mayors. They all get together with the unified mayors. They put out this big letter to try and do some stuff in the community. There's a big event coming up. Oh, what could that be? Liberation. I know. It seems like the wrong month for it. Oh, yeah, we got hit by another typhoon. So we got to push back, but things are still happening. It was going to be an amazing time anyway, because the mayor and the Liberation Day Committee, they were able to put it together for the 4th of July. Were it not for Bobby, that was even still a massive feat to be able to put that stuff together for our Liberation Day after Sinlaku. But now, after back-to-back, they're going to end up having a big celebration. We're going to be there. You're going to be there. And, well, we're going to hear it right from the mayor staff themselves. Yeah, so we got that going for us, which is pretty nice. All right, don't go anywhere. We're coming right back. We're coming back with the mayor. We're going to come back with all kinds of headlines and all kinds of cool stuff right after this. So we'll be right back.
After years of serving our community as a disability advocate, Lord, I leave it up to you to guide me on this path to serve Precinct 1 on a bigger level. Not just for myself, but for many others. I'm ready to serve our disability community and every voter with stronger leadership and a louder voice. My name is John Damapan Jr., Precinct 1 candidate for House of Representatives, ready to be an equal voice for all abilities. Please vote Republican. My name is John D.L.G. Damapan Jr., and I approve this message.
If you think girls and women's equality matter, stand up. If girls and women's sports matter, and you want your daughters to have the same opportunity you had, stand up. If you know that it isn't fair or safe to allow males to compete in girls' sports, because it's, well, obvious, stand up. Don't be cowed by people who call you a bigot. You're not a bigot. Don't let men tell us how to be good girls. Don't let others tell you you just need to be quiet. Sit down. Be nice. It's not nice to further a lie. It's not mean to believe in women's equality. We deserve our own sports, privacy, fairness, safety. We deserve a chance to compete and win. So don't be nice. Don't be careful. Be honest. Be brave. Fight for women. We've come too far to give up now. And if you agree with that, stand up and stand with us.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with you.
CNMI, in a season full of promises, this is mine to you. I will keep showing up. I will keep working hard, and I will keep working with anybody as long as it benefits the CNMI. Don't send us back to the starting line. Send us back to finish what we started.
I am Kimberlyn King Hines, and I approve this message.
camera's live. She says she's saving the world in 4K live. Different stage when it's neon night. By day she's preaching revolution.
All right, good morning, Marianas. Welcome back. It is 8:02. Oh, there you go. It's 8:02 from your ITN News Time here in the Marianas. And man, we have so much going on here on this beautiful Friday morning on the west coast of the Marianas over here in Oleai. You know, you could almost, if you look down the street, if you threw a rock, you'd have to have a really good arm. You really would. You could almost reach the mayor's office from here. But you don't have to, not when the mayor's in town and he's right here in the studio with us. We have big news coming up today. We're going to be talking Liberation Day 2026, and we've got our mayor of Saipan, Mayor R.B. Camacho, and we have Ms. Francis Santos, the Liberation Chair. Thanks so much for being here. Good morning.
Good morning, Brad.
Morning. Morning. Thank you, Brett, for having us.
Well, I am so glad that when you guys are in here, I know that exciting stuff is happening.
Yes.
You know, first of all, Mr. Mayor, how you doing?
Still moving forward. If you look at the mayors, my favorite color is green and yellow. So I took the concept of a traffic light.
Oh.
Okay, so red, yellow, and green. So I removed the red because the red is the stop. So the mayor continues to go forward. So that's the green.
Nice.
Step is continue to roll forward with caution.
I love it. And it's happening. And you guys have been doing a lot of stuff. You know, this is the third Liberation Parade that you're planning for this year, I think. You're able to get a lot done. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I just want to touch back real quick, just because you and the other mayors, I don't think we've had I've seen a whole lot of this before where all the mayors are together on the same page on different things. But for you guys, you're absolutely on the same page and doing all this great stuff. So, Mr. Mayor, can you tell us just a little bit about this letter that you put out before we get into all the good stuff?
Well, Brad, I've been getting a lot of calls. I go out to the community, meeting with the people out there in the community, and a lot of concerns about these drugs in the community. So I gather all this information, and even Brad, it went to the extent of a concerned citizen that listed all the possible users in the village. So I received this list of users, especially in Tonapak village. I got 21 names. People identify these people in their village. And that's what, I'm really asking the community. See something, say something, and let's do something. I understand the police, I've been a police officer for 20 years. I know the police is not all over at one time, with the economy issues, everything in this thing. So again, I'm appealing to the entire community. Please, let's work together. See something, say something, and let's do something together, and let's promote a safe community, safe village, and a clean island. That's what exactly. And these unified mayors, we established this thing in the very first year when I came in. I call all the mayors, the 3 mayors, and, we organize ourselves, how we can all help each other. I attend this, and I've been a member of the national mayor. And that time was President Biden. So we all went to the White House. And guess what President Biden told the mayors? That you are the front line. Not the governor, not the senators, the legislator. It's the mayor. It's a day and night people contact the mayor. So the way I took my position here, it's everything affecting the community. I jump in.
Well, you nailed it, and you're doing it, and you guys are all about it. And I love that everybody's together on it. I mean, like even the parades, like last year, we get the other islands coming in to be a part of it too. And even bringing statues over with them and everything too. So you guys are doing. I think maybe that's like the perfect transition, because you guys from the Liberation Committee and working with the mayor's office, all the great support. You guys have been doing a great job, and we have another one coming up. You know, people weren't sure if we were going to get the parade this year and the Liberation.
You know, Brad, it was just crossing finger that there's no more typhoon, you know, and we're looking forward, you know, at least a 2 days liberation. You know, yes, we're going to be celebrating this 80th liberation. But most important there is, you know, all of us, you know, suffer from this two back-to-back typhoon, especially the children, you know, they're traumatized. So at least these 2 days, you know, to bring the people together. You know, let's mingle, you know, walk around, build, share stories. You know, this is the time, at least a short period of time of this liberation. So it's about the community. Bring the people together.
Well, it's going to happen, and we're excited about it because we get to be there. It's, you know, it's funny. I had a vacation planned before Bobby that we were going to leave on the 8th. Then Bobby, and the reason why we picked the 8th is because we want to make sure that we're there for liberation, just in case if we were going to have it. And then we're ready to go, and then Bobby happened.
Yeah, I know.
So we pushed it back anyway. Then we took our trip and we came back. And now I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but now that we're seeing that it's happening, we're really excited. So, Chair, you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Yes, we have. It's the 80th celebration. We initially planned for a really big one, but unfortunately, due to the two disasters that just happened, the two super typhoons, we had to minimize our events to just 2 days. So it's finally happening. It's next week, Friday, the 21st, and Saturday, the 22nd. So we're inviting the Marianas, everybody, to come out and enjoy these festivities. On Friday, I'll go ahead and give a schedule. So on Friday, we start at 12 noon. The grounds are open. At 12 noon, we have the opening ceremony at 4 p.m. And then it'll open up for entertainment to 10 p.m. on Friday.
Wow.
And then on Saturday, the booths will open from 8 and end at 11. But we have a parade that will begin at 10 in the morning. And it'll be the same as last year. It will begin from the Quartermaster and end at Susupi Civic Center.
I love that format for a lot of reasons. One is because if I wasn't covering it, which we are, and we're going to be there, so we're excited, but I could sit here in air conditioning and watch it go by, and it would be
You have
awesome.
a nice view out here.
The
best view.
Yep.
But it's going to be even better because we're going to be right there by the grandstand to cover all that stuff and support everything that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And no, thank you. This is so great. You know, we started doing it. This is our 4th year now, and we started doing it before we were doing this full time, just because it was like, you know, we wanted, you know, people who are from off island and people who are from here who can't make it.
Yes, correct.
And like a lot of there's homebound folks, some of the Monamco folks and who can't see it. And then people from off island who just want to get a little touch of home. So, but now we get to do this with you guys officially all the time. We get to put it on your channel too. So I love that we get to do it. I'm so thankful that we get to do it. All right. So now that we've had a parade, then we do. How hard has it been to get everybody together?
Extremely hard. We had to send invitations out, and then we had to resend them. Not only did we have to resend them, now we have to call and confirm that they're actually going to be able to make it. Some majority are going to be able to make it for next weekend. Some had to pull out because of conflicting schedules. But we are looking at possibly more than 35 participants for parade.
Wow!
Yes, and we more than 50 vendors, anywhere from food and education booth, local artists. We have a lot. So I also wanted to mention that making it possible this year due to disaster, we had waived all the fees.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
so there's no vendor fees, there's no slot fees. So we want to help the community just as much as, you know, come out and take a break from all of this pressure from the disaster and enjoy the 2-day event that we have.
You know, it's hard enough to get it all together, but then to get that kind of a break from you guys, while people are still, like, you don't even know what condition all the vendors have gone through, like their businesses or their houses. Like that's the thing that a lot of people just think of the business itself, but the people who actually work it or run it, some owner operators, their house might have been devastated. And so you guys are taking another burden off of them just so the community can still enjoy a great event.
Yes. Yes, thanks to the sponsorship, thanks to our mayor's office for all their support, thanks to our board of directors and our subcommittee chairs that have worked so diligently and so hard to make this event happen in the very last minute.
You have a great team.
Yes, we do.
So I got to see a lot of it last year too, but this year there were a lot of people who were there from last year's team too.
Yes, correct.
And you guys work so great together.
Thank you. We do.
Seems like you get along. Like it's a great team.
Yes, it's a wonderful team.
Stronger together. That's the answer. Let's all work together. There's nothing impossible. Brad, all government agency, the community, the business community, if we all work together, we can make things happen. And that's what we need. That's what I've been preaching, out here as a mayor.
Well, by the way, I know that this is not what you're coming to talk about, but I'm squeezing in there. Election season is coming up. There's all kinds of stuff happening, Mr. Mayor. And I know you're running again. There's at least one other person who's running now. Somebody else was running, then pulled out. Someone else isn't running. We're going to get the same 4 years from you going forward, the same kind of stuff you've been doing?
I'm hoping, the people, the voters, consider me back. I still have the energy, the will to drive forward, to promote a safe community, safe village, and a clean island. And, again, yes, it's an election time. And I humbly ask the voters to consider me. I'm on the race for the mayorship. I know there's another candidate for the mayor. But yet, I still have to go out there and ask the voters, to consider me and to give me their vote of confidence. The willingness is there, and the support from my wife, is there 100%. And I want to make a difference in our community, Brad. We have so many issues in our community, and I don't see nobody that taking action. Yet, I came up with this idea, of reaching out different ethnic community because they're on island. We have a diverse community here. It's no longer just Chamorro and Rafalas. So I want to embrace with everybody. Brad, every time I officiate a marriage and there's a large group of family, I always deliver that. I made a short speech about safe community, safe village, and a clean island. So I touched a lot of people and I said, who are the victim of the crime? It's us, the community. So we need to embrace one another so we can, push out this unacceptable activity.
Well, it's working. I mean, the word's definitely getting around, and hopefully, we get some support from your federal partners that you guys all reached out for to help with some of this stuff.
Yes, I worked so hard on that. I interviewed the DEA agent here, and we have only one DEA agent here.
Wow.
And this DEA agent, of course, he cannot just take cases from left to right. You have to take cases from the superior and a specific case to handle. So, he admitted that he cannot handle it himself. He need manpower.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to restore that back, the task force that we create way back when I was in the police. We have a task force that FBI, DEA, and the local police, local custom, they all under that umbrella, and they handle, all these cases in the cinema. So that is what I'm trying to do to restore that back, bring that back, because we badly need it. Mm-hmm. Brad, really bothers me is the drugs is already penetrating the youth. So that's the worst thing that, to see it continue to expand.
Wow, it's awful, but a lot of those times would be like those kids don't have anything to do. But you guys have been doing stuff for the kids too. Even the mayor's office hosting events.
Yes.
Like the basketball, that's one of them. You guys were in all the different villages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I spoke to a congressman this morning because, I was reviewing the statute that there's this alcohol tobacco, fee. I don't see the mayor's name in there. So I want to avail myself in that funding, so I can promote this youth program in our community. That's the purpose of that alcohol tobacco, tax, is to promote, to push out the kids from these, drugs, vapes, and others, and to promote a healthy lifestyle. So that's what exactly I'm trying to do.
Wow, well, it's working. The people are out there doing it, and we've been able to see a lot of great stuff. What are there any special acts that people should be looking for our liberation? Are there special things that are coming up that anybody should be like? Is Bruno Mars coming, or do we have, or maybe it's Walter Magnolia? I don't know. Like
We have Chinaman.
that, he's way better.
We have Chinaman. He's the chairman of the entertainment, and he's the right person, to start, holding that mic on the floor. I love that guy. He's really taking the attention of the people.
Yes. He's an
So
entertainer.
Chinaman is the man.
Chuno Mars. That's that's perfect. Yeah, he is great. You can't help but laugh. That guy, his laugh's infectious, man. He makes you want to laugh just from his laugh.
Man, I love that guy. He really make me laugh. A lot of people were laughing. And
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be coming up to a commercial here pretty soon. Anything else that you want to touch on?
Yes, again, with this 2 days celebration, I humbly ask, the entire community here, the entire Sinamay, and we also invite Guam mayors, outside visitors, and they're going to join us. Of course, the 3 mayors here in Sinamay, they're going to participate in the parade. And I also heard that our U.S. delegate, Kimberly, is going to join the parade,
Yeah.
together with the mayors. So, please come and join us, and let's have this 2 days celebration. A day to mingle, a day to build friendship. A day to ease ourselves from this back-to-back typhoon. So this is a perfect day for all of us.
Man, you know what? It just reminded me, like, last year was great. We had all that extra wood from the previous typhoons. The guys from corrections were able to build this grand stage. But with everything that's happening, probably that's another hardship that you guys had to overcome.
Correct.
We don't have those kind of resources. Not to mention, everyone's still dealing with all their stuff. There's still people that don't have power.
Correct.
So how you end up doing it this time?
Well, we're just coming up with very simple on what we have on hand. The point there is as long to have this liberation.
That's great.
Everything is tailored down.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's going to be a perfect size, tailored down
Yes.
to fit the what we've got going on in the cinema.
Yes.
No excuses. You're just doing it. I love it. All right. Well, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Chairwoman, anything you'd like to put out?
Just everybody, please come out. It'll be 2 days of stress reliever opportunity, and join us.
I can't wait to chow.
Brad, I just want to give a big shout out to the Liberation Committee and my staff. They're working together, day and night, trying to put everything together. And I really appreciate the Liberation Committee. And this is all volunteers, Brad. I really appreciate the chairwoman, her leadership, to this group, as well to my staff. And one thing, Brad, this is a day, and I want to give a big shout out to my granddaughter celebrating her birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Her name is
birthday.
Mary Elizabeth Bossa Camacho. Happy birthday, baby.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
All right. Well, Mr. Mayor, happy birthday. And thanks for coming in and making the time to get in here today to talk about all this great stuff that's happening next weekend. It starts next Friday. And when does it kick off? What time?
12 noon.
12 noon on Friday.
yes.
We're not messing around. Forget it. Get out there on Friday and give you something great to do.
Yes, don't go home and cook your food. The food's there. Friday evening. You don't have to prepare your food at home.
Yeah, and you get to support local vendors who
Yes.
are coming out there. They're able to not have to worry about those fees. They're putting their stuff together so that they can make you have a great time. And it's all through the coordination for the mayor's office and our Liberation Day committee. Thanks so much. And the other thing is I have been a part of the Liberation Committee for a couple of years, so I got to see how much work it is. It's free. People are doing this and not getting paid to
Correct.
do all this stuff. So you're doing this as a labor of love. Like, you are a hometown hero. Mr. Mayor, you are a hero too. But
Brad, I want to bring you back.
but you are a hometown hero. You're doing this for your love of the
Yes,
community.
yes,
There's
yes.
no money that goes to you. You're
Yes.
just putting hours, countless hours, are organizing people from all over to make sure that the people of the Marianas have a great time. Francis, that's awesome.
Thank you. I
Yes,
have a great team.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't worry, Brad. We're gonna grab you in.
We're breaking up.
We need a true community leaders out here. You know?
All right. Well, thanks so much to both of you. We're gonna take a real quick break. By the way, we're gonna be coming back here in just a few minutes, and we have a phone call with our Lieutenant Governor. He reached out to us. And he wants to give everybody an update on how he's doing and all that stuff. So, so don't go around, don't miss that. We're just going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to have our Lieutenant Governor on the phone to tell us about how he's doing. And again, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Mrs. Chair, the Mayor and the Chair, both here. They're both there. Thanks for being here today. We'll see you guys in just a little bit right after this break.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you.
Hafaday Zantiro, I am Lawrence Ferreran Camacho, running for governor alongside my running mate, Ms. Edith De Leon Guerrero.
We are running because we believe the CNMI can be a place where families choose to stay, where businesses grow, and where our children have opportunities to thrive.
And our focus is simple, and that is to turn recovery into real opportunity for the CNMI, to rebuild with purpose, with accountability and transparency that our people deserve.
Please vote for the Camacho De Leon Guerrero ticket, and let's build a future worth staying for. Si Diyos maasi,
Alam mo ay za pwede isay nata unay todo ni bendisyon niya.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live. And that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
Associated Press that Luigi Mangione is expected to plead guilty as early as Friday in the federal case accusing him of stalking and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The person speaking anonymously also says it's possible Mangione could change his mind. He's expected to attend a hearing Friday in the case. Mangione is accused of shooting Thompson outside a New York City hotel in December 2024. His lawyers and spokespeople for the Justice Department and Manhattan federal prosecutors have declined to comment. I'm Mike Hempen.
The battle over the future of Washington, D.C.'s Kennedy Center is escalating. President Trump's allies on its board have voted to add his name to the building's facade. It would read the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, restored and renovated by President Donald J. Trump. The plaza in front of the building would be named after Trump, and most of the venue would be closed for 2 years to allow for renovations. 2 months ago, a federal judge ruled Trump's name was added to the building illegally and had to be removed, and blocked the closure. The aircraft carrier USS George Washington is heading to the Middle East amid reports of mental health and supply issues aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. It's been at sea for more than 240 days, a record. U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee condemned Israeli settlers besieging 3 homes in the occupied West Bank as terrorists. One home's owned by a Palestinian American. Tennessee and Oklahoma put inmates to death within 30 minutes of each other today, and Alabama has an execution scheduled for this evening. And health officials in Africa say Congo's Ebola outbreak has spread to a 6th province. It's already killed more than 2,100 people. This is AP News. Damian Troisi has today's AP Markets Report.
Stocks rose to records on Wall Street Thursday. The S&P 500 rose 0.7% and topped its prior all-time high set last week. The Dow rose 0.1% and the Nasdaq Composite rose 0.8%. Treasury yields eased in the bond market. A report showed that the rate of inflation at the wholesale level slowed in July. That follows a report Wednesday that showed the rate of inflation at the consumer level also slowed in July. Crude oil prices fell. They've been swinging sharply recently over uncertainty about the U.S. war with Iran. Damian Troisi, New York.
Gas prices up another 3.5 cents. AAA puts the national average above $4.07 per gallon. Mortgage rates down slightly. The average 30 years at 6.67%. Jobless claims were up last week but remain at historically healthy levels. More news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
After super typhoon Sinlaku, recovery isn't just about rebuilding homes and clearing debris. It's about taking care of each other. It's normal to feel stress, fear, or sadness during recovery. Healing isn't a straight path. Take it one day at a time. Acknowledge your feelings. Stay connected with family and neighbors. Build small daily routines. And if it gets overwhelming, reach out. Seeking support is a sign of strength. NM Posse's PIME program is here for CNMI residents. Call 670-235-7273 or 670-789-6021 or visit nmposse.org. Together we rebuild, and together we heal. You are stronger than the storm. Message from NM Posse's PIME program, paid for by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Marianas, welcome back. It is 8:31 in the morning, and my goodness, again, we have a busy day today. There's so much happening. We got more guests coming in studio and everything, but not all of our guests come in the studio. Sometimes they're coming from somewhere else, and that's what we're going to be doing here in just a second. I actually got to see. I don't know if I've got his number saved on this phone or not. But we're going to find out pretty close. Yes, I do. And we're going to give him a ring right now. We were able to, we got a message from the lieutenant governor, and he said that he could be available for a call. So we're going to reach out to him.
Hey, good morning, Brad.
Hey, Lieutenant Governor, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Man,
good, brother.
That is the big story this morning. You know, we heard that we got the message from DPS, and you know they don't tell us about every single thing that happens every single time, but mostly like the big things. And when your lieutenant governor gets in a ding, you know everybody's wondering, is he okay? You know, how's he doing? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good actually. Just minor pain on my chest and shoulders, but other than that, I'm good. I'm up and out and about.
Man, I bet you probably got some phone calls or messages from some folks when it happened, and what happened? I have so many questions, but just again making sure that you're okay. But this was last night.
Yes, this was last night. Probably around 6:30, maybe. Not sure the time, but yeah, this was last night. I was heading home from the gym and, man, just tried to grab my drink. And, from there, I'm not even sure what happened. I kind of veered off, hit the telephone pole on the left-hand side, kind of damaged the truck. But I was up and I was conscious. I was talking to the boys, the responders, and, they were asking me questions. And, I was okay. Of course, they had to bring me to the hospital just to make sure everything, there's no hidden injuries or anything like that. So they did some x-rays and, made sure there was no broken bones. So that was good.
That sounds like a rough night.
Oh, yeah, it was. The phone started blowing up since last night. For some reason, this it went viral on WhatsApp, right? So, everybody was sending me the pictures and they're like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? I'm like, damn, it's a minor accident, right? But I guess I'm figuring that when you're the lieutenant governor, everything is newsworthy when, something happens. So, yeah, I appreciate all the concerns, and the people reaching out and, especially the family, to be honest. And my siblings all just calling me, texting me since last night, just wondering what's going on. Like, they were just talking to me yesterday and all of a sudden there's this news about me in an accident. So, yep.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We had the mayor was on with us this morning, and he was talking about that same spot, about how they don't have the non-skid stuff on the road and everything, and that it's been something that he's been bringing up. That's a tough turn anyway.
So the problem with that that turn is it's like the pavement is wavy, right? So when you're driving there, you can feel the truck kind of hydroplaning, right? And of course the pavement is that, because we got GPPC right there, and all the heavy equipment is just making those turns, and when it's hot out, the asphalt is not, starts to get, starts to expand, and then you got the trucks going over it. So it's really that road is really bad. I hope people are not trying to fly through that, because, I was going roughly 30, 35 miles an hour. And even at that, it got really dangerous quick for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, and which power pole did you hit? Was it wooded or was it that concrete one?
No, it was a concrete pole. Somebody was just making a joke about it on one of the chat, right? They go, hey, lucky you didn't take down that power pole because there's no more power pole in Saipan. I'm like, yeah, thankful for that. Definitely don't want no power.
That's the priorities.
Yeah, especially this is right around my house. Literally, the next left turn is, and then a right turn, and I'm home, and I just miss home by a minute. Wow. So yeah. Definitely a rough night. But yeah, it's really just, going out to the gym, and I've been trying to hit the gym a lot lately just to try and get some sort of shape, right? Because it's campaign season. Of course, we're always out and about, always eating, drinking, and I wanted to make sure that I stay in shape. So last night I told the PSCs pretty much to go home. I don't need anybody driving me just for an hour just to waste everybody's time. I can do it. But it proved that it was a bad idea last night.
Now, this is like the actual argument. People are going to be like, yeah, that's why you need to have a driver. Maybe you're just out of practice because you've had the driving people do it for you for so long.
Maybe. I don't know. But, there's always the argument whether, the governor, lieutenant governor should have drivers or shouldn't they? The problem is that our phone on a daily basis just goes off more than usual, right? So imagine trying to just communicate with everybody on all issues and trying to drive. So again, this is just proving how important and vital our PSCs are. So last night, I think last night would have been a different story had I had one of them driving for me.
Well, that's a thing that that most people wouldn't think about. Of course, everybody's got their own notifications going off on their phones and stuff. They're not also running the Commonwealth, So, or maybe they are. I don't know. But at least that's something I think probably didn't resonate with a lot of folks.
Yeah.
But
there's two ends to this argument, right? So there's this, you don't have to be on your phone, right? Just don't answer any calls or don't text while you're driving. Sure. And, we do that. But the problem is that half the time we got people just pissed off and angry because we're not responding, to their immediate needs. So, it's a double-edged sword. Whether you do or you don't, you're still you're still on you're still held up to a standard. So, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, what kind of truck were you driving?
It's the Nissan Frontier. So it was a brown Nissan Frontier. Actually, I think the photo of the damage kind of went viral last night because I was receiving it from different ends. So yeah, but I think it's probably can be fixed. It's not. It's just probably the like the idle arm, the tie rods. Those are just because the tire just kind of pretty much turned.
Man, I haven't seen the photo yet, so
I'm glad. It's not something that I'm looking forward to. Everybody, I see all the Facebook posts, and I'm like, gosh, it almost sounds really bad if you read it on social media, but it was really a minor accident.
Well, those newer vehicles, they're designed to, take a little bit of a beating and keep you safe. And it sounds like that worked. How about you were so close to home, you got to call your wife and let her know what's going on? How'd she react to all that?
Yeah, so just had the fire boys actually do the calling. I was kind of strapped down pretty tight, right, with the seat collar and the whole thing. So, I just told the boys, I was like, hey, can you just grab my phone and call my wife, my kids, and just let them know that I'm okay, but, I'm heading to the hospital. So they did that. First thing she says, like, what happened? Like, you're so close to the house. Like, what happened? I'm like, yeah, I don't know, honest. So, yeah, but it's, it was, thankfully I had my seatbelt on. Thankfully, but one of the things that kind of gave me this injury is really the seatbelt, right? Because I had it across my chest. And, I'm guessing that impact just kind of caused some bruising on my chest and my shoulder.
Did it have an airbag? Did that go off?
No, it didn't. It did not deploy. That's how we know I wasn't driving fast. I was not driving fast. Just got preoccupied and kind of blacked out a little bit when I was trying to reach for my drink. So, but yeah.
Hey, by the way, the report that we got from DPS, it said left passenger. That
was wrong. It's left driver's side. When I was reading that, I was like, maybe somebody got left and right mixed up. So it's left driver's side, not passenger. I don't know how the passenger side can be the left side of the vehicle.
Well, that made me wonder if you had like one of those old Japanese vehicles or something like that.
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the driver's side. So yeah.
Well, it's good to know that you're okay. You got released last night?
Yes, I did. I went in about 7-ish, right, and then got released about 9:30 after the X-rays and everything came out, and there's no broken bones or no collapsed lungs. The doctor just pretty much sent me home with with some medication to just sustain me for a few days. But yeah, it was real quick. That's why this news kind of shocked me. But I guess when you're the lieutenant governor, everything is newsworthy.
So is it like, do they give you real good stuff, or is it just like the Army? They give you a couple of Motrin and tell you to
No,
shake it
actually, they gave me some good stuff. They gave me some good stuff. I'm like, yep, it's gonna be a good 2 days, 3 days.
Wow. Well,
definitely can't drive. Definitely can't drive now.
Well, it's good to hear that you're in good spirits about it and that you're generally
Yeah.
okay. You've got some aches and pains that are going to happen for a little while. And then you got to deal with that whole truck thing. But good to hear that you're okay.
Thank you for reaching out, Brad. I'm still looking forward to golf this Sunday. Hopefully, I get this pain gone by Sunday. So, yeah, I'm still in good spirit. I tell the boys, Army strong, Army strong.
All right. Well, that's our lieutenant governor. He is tougher than a power pole. And it's good to hear from you, sir. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. You too, Brad. Thank you for reaching out.
Take care.
Okay.
All right. That is our lieutenant governor, folks, who is just with us just to confirm, what happened from his side and that he's all right. Truck's all jacked up. He thinks they can fix it, which is good. But he's going to be pretty sore for a little while. And, that stinks. We got some comments from some folks who are like, hey, did they do this? Did they check speed? Did they do all this stuff? The breathalyzer and all that. So we talked to DPS. That was some of the first questions that we hit back to them. They said speed wasn't a factor and that alcohol wasn't a factor and that there weren't any tickets that were issued either. So hopefully that answers that from your side. For folks who are asking, we'll update that stuff to put that in there. But there you go, folks. That's it. Our lieutenant governor is not in the hospital. He got released last night, and apparently there's some photos going around. We haven't gotten them, but. In fact, we did ask DPS. We said, do you have any photos? They said, no, we don't have any at this time. So any of those photos that did came out from probably some folks who were on the scene or maybe neighbors who were nearby. But I think the takeaway is no matter who's involved in something like that, you want to, the whole community would want to make sure that person's okay. And it sounds like he's doing okay. Still in good spirits. He's going to try to golf on Sunday. So how bad, right? It's good for him. All right, hey, it's 8:44. We have another guest that's going to be coming in here at 9 o'clock this morning. We got folks from the Small Business Administration. We've got Renata Mason and we've got Corey Williams, who we got to sit down with quite a bit yesterday. It was so nice. Before we started getting really busy yesterday afternoon, and we had to hustle. We got to talk with them for at least a good 30 minutes yesterday. It would have been a lot longer if we didn't have everything else going on. But we are excited about them coming in here. You're going to love them. You already know Renata. She loves the chocolate cake from Great Harvest. I call it her cake place now because of how much she loves that chocolate cake. It really is something special. She got me to start eating it. Not like you have to twist my arm to eat chocolate cake, but when I go there, I usually go there for the good sandwiches. And, speaking of Great Harvest, while we're there, and maybe because I'm hungry, I missed breakfast this morning. They have amazing stuff. Now, their breakfast sandwiches are great. Their soups, oh my gosh. If you haven't tried that baked potato soup, you have not lived yet. It is one of the things that I'm a big fan of. Oh, what's this one? Nope, we're good. And then all the sandwiches, I don't even know if they still have it. If they bring it back. I know it was a special thing that they had for Father's Day, but they had that pulled pork sandwich. If they bring that back, drop what you're doing, go in there and get it. My gosh, that thing was amazing. It was hands down my favorite sandwich that they have there. And there's so many. So it's like, it's up there. If it's one of my favorites over there. My go-to sandwich? Good question. Thank you. That's a tie because I usually go there for the breakfast sandwich. And when I get the breakfast sandwich, I'll get the breakfast sandwich with bacon because they have crispy bacon. It's not that soggy stuff that you get at some restaurants that don't care about you. They give you crispy bacon on that sandwich. And then you get to pick whatever bread because they make their own bread fresh every single day. They don't order from another place. You're not getting like yesterday's bread. You're getting fresh bread over there at Great Harvest. And they've got the, I like the high five fiber because I am not eating enough vegetables in my life. You know what? We should definitely fix that. But either way, in the meantime, I'm doing the high five fiber that they've got. But there's so many different choices of bread that you can get from there. It smells amazing when you walk in there. And I'll tell you one more little thing. PJ says fried Spam and fried egg on sweet bread. That does sound pretty good. I'm with you. That sounds awesome. But the other one is one, I like their Calamansi cooler. It is so refreshing. It is good. I'm a regular coffee person, but I have started getting that as well. And that's a little pick-me-up. The other one is if you're traveling, I have cracked the code on awesome customer service when you're flying on a plane. No matter what airline, it doesn't matter. But figure out how long you're going to be on the plane and how many flight crew they're probably going to have. I have picked up a bag full of those mini scones that they have, and I give it to the flight crews when I travel. So the flight to Guam, I give them one bag, which is 6. There's 6 of them in a bag, and that's enough for the whole crew, and they are so thankful because nobody says nice things to them, I guess. But this is a nice way. Each one of those flight crew members come up and say thank you. They love it, and it's something you could say came from here. You could do this with other stuff. This is just my thing is doing that from Great Harvest. Then I picked up 2 bags for the flight to Japan. So I got to Guam, and then from Guam to Tokyo, 2 bags to cover the whole crew because there's a lot more people on it. They loved it too. And by the way, I'm telling you, they give you a little extra love on the plane. And then the flight from Tokyo to Newark, another 2 bags. Again, they got another big crew, so that's 12. And then same thing, little extra treatment, a little extra love that they give you. And then for that flight from Newark to Buffalo, I did the same thing with 1 bag, just like the Guam to Saipan. And so all in all, I had the best experience because I got to say, hey, this came from our island in Saipan. And I could say that it's, hey, I know you guys don't always get a lot of love from folks, but here you go. I say thank you for taking care of us on this flight that's happening. And boy, oh boy, do they appreciate it. They're so not used to it. It's a little extra love from the Marianas, when they ask like where you're from and all that stuff. And then you get to give them something nice that's from home. I know it cost a little extra than what you would normally spend for your trip. It's not a whole lot more. The impact that you get from making those people happy is amazing if you've got it. And then they make you feel great, you make them feel great, and they take care of you a little extra on the plane. I'm saying that could be a Saipan thing. The folks from Japan at the World Cup, you ever see what they end up doing? The folks on the World Cup, Japan fans, when they travel to see Japan play, after the game, they're cleaning up the stadium. Really, they bring their own trash bags, and then they pick up the trash that's left behind to help out. And they're famous for that. I don't know, maybe could that be something that we do? No, we don't have to pick stuff up. But we can drop stuff off. All of a sudden, those people from the Marianas are the nicest when it comes to their flight crews and all that stuff. Could you imagine? Like if we end up getting a great and it doesn't cost the MBA anything. It doesn't cost the government anything. It's just that genuine niceness. I know you're just worried about getting from place to place. Nobody's saying you have to do it, believe me. But how cool would it be if that became our thing? Our thing is that everybody, they love flying with people from the Marianas because they're so nice. They do all this cool stuff. Yeah, that could be our thing. All right. Hey, we're going to take a real quick break. We're not leaving, I promise. But you know what? We have given you news updates, but you know what we haven't given you yet? A sports update. So let's get you that. I want to get you the latest update in the sports world. Preseason football is just about here. They are already practicing, and pretty soon the games will be happening. We already had the Hall of Fame game, but is your team coming up soon? Hopefully.
Fox Sports Update.
Preseason football is here, and it's beautiful. There are 6 games on the schedule tonight, followed by 3 on Friday, and then 7 more on Saturday. The Browns begin the exhibition season in Chicago against the Bears on Saturday afternoon. Deshaun Watson gets the first crack under center for Cleveland.
Throw, Watson slithers through. A marathon drive for the Browns leads to a touchdown.
All right, those Watson-Cleveland highlights are few and far between. That touchdown called by CBS, exactly what the Browns want to see. However, Shedeur Sanders will start the team's second preseason game at home against the Bills next week. Elsewhere, the Panthers and free agent tight end Darren Waller reached agreement on a one-year deal. The 33-year-old spent last season down in Miami with the Dolphins. Elsewhere, Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa will start Friday night in the team's preseason opener against the Broncos. Despite the decision to start Tua on Friday, Falcons head coach Kevin Stefanski said it's still too early to tab a starting quarterback for the regular season. And veteran linebacker Elandon Roberts, who played in Pittsburgh during the 2023 and 24 seasons, well, he's reached agreement with the Steelers on a one-year deal, so he returns to the Steel City. Big NBA news. Russell Westbrook, who played 18 NBA seasons with 7 teams, announced his retirement on social media. He actually had offers this offseason from the Kings and Wizards, but retirement wins out. The 9-time All-Star spent the bulk of his career, 11 years, with the Thunder in Oklahoma City. And in case you missed it, big news, the Lakers are being sold. The record-breaking price of more than $12 billion means the Lakers will have their third ownership group since last year. For more scores, stories, and features, go to foxsports.com. I'm Jay Berman.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas.
Fox Sports Update.
Healthcare CEO Mike Hempen has the latest.
A source tells the Associated Press that Luigi Mangione is expected to plead guilty as early as Friday in the federal case accusing him of stalking and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The person speaking anonymously also says it's possible Mangione could change his mind. He's expected to attend a hearing Friday in the case. Mangione is accused of shooting Thompson outside a New York City hotel in December 2024. His lawyers and spokespeople for the Justice Department and Manhattan federal prosecutors have declined to comment. I'm Mike Hempen.
The battle over the future of Washington, D.C.'s Kennedy Center is escalating. President Trump's allies on its board have voted to add his name to the building's facade. It would read the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, restored and renovated by President Donald J. Trump. The plaza in front of the building would be named after Trump, and most of the venue would be closed for 2 years to allow for renovations. 2 months ago, a federal judge ruled Trump's name was added to the building illegally and had to be removed, and blocked the closure. The aircraft carrier USS George Washington is heading to the Middle East amid reports of mental health and supply issues aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. It's been at sea for more than 240 days, a record. U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee's condemned Israeli settlers besieging 3 homes in the occupied West Bank as terrorists. One home's owned by a Palestinian American. Tennessee and Oklahoma put inmates to death within 30 minutes of each other today, and Alabama has an execution scheduled for this evening. And health officials in Africa say Congo's Ebola outbreak has spread to a 6th province. It's already killed more than 2,100 people. This is AP News. Damian Troisi has today's AP Markets Report.
Stocks rose to records on Wall Street Thursday. The S&P 500 rose 0.7% and topped its prior all-time highs set last week. The Dow rose 0.1% and the Nasdaq Composite rose 0.8%. Treasury yields eased in the bond market. A report showed that the rate of inflation at the wholesale level slowed in July. That follows a report Wednesday that showed the rate of inflation at the consumer level also slowed in July. Crude oil prices fell. They've been swinging sharply recently over uncertainty about the U.S. war with Iran. Damian Troisi, New York.
Gas prices up another 3.5 cents. AAA puts the national average above $4.07 per gallon. Mortgage rates down slightly. The average 30 years at 6.67%. Jobless claims were up last week but remain at historically healthy levels. More news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something.
and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Waves crash hard, the shore don't break. Roots go deep, no storm can take this land of ours, where hearts ignite. Saipan stands holding tight.
Tillian whispers, winds that howl. Road rises, forged in steel.
Island strong, we carry on through the dark. We find the dawn, hold the line. We sing our songs, Saipantinian Rota. Island strong.
Sky turns gray, but we don't fall. Towers crumble, we rebuild all. Sweat and tears, they mark the ground. Every loss, the strength we found. Mountains calling, stand so proud. Oceans roar, but we're not cowed.
Island strong, we carry on through the dark. We find the dawn, hold the line. We sing our songs, Saipantinian Rota. Island strong.
All right, Marianas, welcome back. It is overtime here on Good Morning Marianas. It is 9 a.m. in the a.m., of course, and it is Friday. Thank goodness. This week has been one long day. I don't think it's been 5 days. I don't think it's been 7 days. I think it's been one long day. And hey, that's not a bad thing. I mean, worse things have happened, but it's been, I'm telling you, crazy one. You already heard about how our day started here at NMI News Service and Good Morning Marianas. It is great. Can't complain. You know, one of the cool things is you got to meet him on the show before. Daryl Hart from Triple J Motors. He's a Buffalo Bills fan, so you know he's a good guy, and he's from Buffalo. But he stopped by this morning. He's like, hey, I thought maybe you'd want a donut. I'm like, how would you know? You're my soulmate. Anyway, we're going to hang out with this guy and his wife and with our family. Looking forward to it. But anyway, if you're looking for a car sometime soon, you go down there and check those guys out. Check him out anyway. You're supporting a Bills fan. Hopefully we can get a whole bunch of other Bills fans over there at AK because they're our weather sponsor. So we would love to have them switch over. Who is the person from Atkins Kroll that should become a Bills fan first? Is it Mark Sablon? Is it Tracy Guerrero? Maybe Kevin Barnes? I don't know. Jay Santos, can we make him get in there? Who else is there? There are so many folks who could be potential Bills fans. Why not? I mean, you want to see yourself in a Tundra. You want to see yourself in a Tacoma. Well, what if, I don't know. I think it's like Josh Allen on any one of those things would be pretty cool. Well, whatever. We're not going to get into all that stuff. I think we're beating that one pretty hard. And now my phone, of course, is blowing up while we're in here. Want to say thanks to our guests that came in here already. We've got 2 more guests coming in here in just a second. Did this start again? Let me just give you this. Give me a real quick second just to make sure. If this, okay, no, this is just that it's a cancellation. Okay, good. I thought they were reinstating it. They are not, so that part's great. Thought that possibly they were reinstating the small craft advisory. Don't worry, they're not. All right, well, hey, our guests are here, and they're just about ready to go. So I'm at the risk of making you smile too much. I am going to take just a quick break to get the camera all set up for them. It won't take long. This will be a way shorter commercial. So we'll give you a couple of audios. I'll give you a little picture of what's going on weather-wise. If you take a look up at the screen here in a second, you're going to see that we are looking pretty good over here. In fact, the weather is so nice. It's going to be nice today and tomorrow. It's going to get a little sketchier, though, on Sunday. We're 84 degrees right now in Saipan. Up at the airport, it's 80% humidity. We're looking at mostly sunny skies today, high near 88. It's going to be a little windy, nothing too crazy. Gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. Tonight, it's going to be just like that without all that sunshine. Tomorrow, scattered showers, partly sunny sky. It's starting to deteriorate. No. We're going to have a high near 86. It's going to be gusty again and a 40% chance of rain. That means it's going to rain. That's just how it works. Tomorrow night, scattered showers. They're going to add one. It's scattered showers and thunderstorms. No! Mostly cloudy tomorrow night. But so tonight, if you want to go out, tonight's the night to do it. Be safe when you're getting out there, too, because Sunday, it's going to be a little rainy, too. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny, high near 86. Gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. So the wind's going to be picking up, and it's going to be raining on Sunday, too. No! How could they ruin it? How could they ruin it? All right. Just give us about a minute and a half, and we're going to be on with our next guest. So we've got a little commercial love for you, so we'll be right back.
Say something and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join under the palm trees, we dance through the days. Rhythm and soul in so many ways. Together we rise through the moments we share. Good morning, Marianas, feel the love everywhere. Wake up to the sunshine in the morning light. Good vibes all around. Everything
right, good morning, Mariana. So welcome back. It is 9:07. Yes, do not adjust your screens. We are still on. It is overtime over here in the Marianas because we have some special guests in studio that are going to have some great information for you. As you always want to get things going, we've got two folks who know exactly how to get things to you, benefits. You've seen one of them. The other one, this is going to be your introduction. I'm excited because we've got two little superstars with us in studio. We have Renata Mason and Corey Williams from the Small Business Administration. People are going wild. And this is one of those weird experiences because you're in the studio and there's no chocolate cake.
I know, not this morning, but that's because I had an amazing workout today. So we're going to save that chocolate cake for later.
All right. Well, at least, see, you're just making room for more chocolate cake from Great Harvest.
That's That's exactly what I'm doing.
Well, it's great to have you back.
Yes. Great to be here.
After the storm, Sinlaku, we got to know each other a lot. You were in here a bit. Then Bobby happened. A whole lot of scrapping for me, and then I was out of here for a while, and we only got to see you guys again yesterday. And Corey, I got to meet you yesterday too, so it's great to meet you.
Great being on here, Brad, and I love the energy. So Nada spoke effusive praise, so I was like, I got to get on the show here and do this show with Nada.
That's awesome. It's great. And by the way, Bea Cabrera, there is a cup of coffee over here that Corey's enjoying that is from Daily Joy. We said, hey, do you want the fancy store-bought stuff or do you want the stuff that's from here? And he's like, oh, man, I'm Daily Joy. So great to have it.
Always good to support local. Yeah, let's go.
And that's your mission. You guys are here supporting local everything after the storms that we got, the back-to-back stuff. By the way, have you ever gone through one of those situations where you're at a disaster location helping people and all of a sudden another one rolls in right after?
So I will say, I'll start off. I've been with the agency 20 years, Brad, and a lot of times in Texas, we get a lot of back-to-backers.
Wow.
So case in point, in 2015, 2016, this is aging me a little bit, we had what was called the tax day floods that happened, of course, April 15th, which is the tax deadline. Then just a little bit over a month later, we had the Memorial Day floods. But keep in mind that the next year they had the tax day floods of 2016 and the Memorial Day floods of 2016 as well. So back-to-backers in like 2 consecutive years. So that Harris County community was really devastated. And then the next year, of course, Hurricane Harvey hit. So it's really tough. But the great thing that with Nada and I as public affairs specialists is that we can always pivot and make sure to make the adjustments to cover both disasters and everything. So, but it is tough. It really is tough to be able to have 2 disasters back to back. So I'll let Nada kind of mention.
Yeah, same here. One being Hurricane Laura in 2020 in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and 3 weeks later it was hit with another hurricane. First hurricane brought the heavy winds. It came in at a category 4 or 5. The second one, 3 weeks later, brought the rain. So it flooded and rained for days. And then I was in North Carolina working Hurricane Florence when I think 2-3 weeks later, we were like hunkered down for another hurricane. So yeah, I haven't been in it as long as he has. Yeah, he's a little old.
She's called me old.
I won't say that. Oh no. But I've been with SBA for 9.5 years now. So, but I started in 2017 with Hurricane Harvey that he spoke of earlier. But yes, we have seen it. But this was my first time experiencing a typhoon. So I've not experienced that. Was I freaked out a little bit? Absolutely. But I was reassured by the locals and everyone else that I would be okay. So. Yeah.
But this one, at least in Saipan,
Yes.
Rhoda people are going to tell you a different story.
Yes.
But in Saipan, Bobby was a lot easier than we did get typhoon force winds, but it wasn't like anything,
Yes.
So it was way easier. And that's easy for me to say because I didn't have a Sinlaku roof that got ripped off and then having to deal with that too. So it's all relative. But we were in the safety of the IT&E office, concrete bunker over there, had nothing to worry about. We had power and water all night. It was great to get through the storm. Not at the house, and we lost everything again. And going through that roller coaster is tough. And that's just personal stuff. You guys are dealing with folks on the personal side, but you're also helping folks on the business side. I mean, you hear SBA, the B is that business part, right? But you guys help everybody.
Absolutely, yes. And I always say that's one of the things that I always say when introducing SBA is, yes, we have the word business in our name. However, our outreach goes beyond that because we do help homeowners and renters. But we do also know the importance of what the businesses bring to the community. They are the heartbeat of the community. And so it keeps things going and, and it helps in that recovery process. So the homeowners and renters, those that go to the businesses and bring in the money and the funding. Obviously, when those businesses get impacted, they can't do that. And so it's like this full circle. So yes, we help them all. The outreach goes beyond that. And so that's why we're here today to give more information, not only on updates on Sinlaku, but also for the latest information on Bobby also.
Yeah. And we got some breaking news for you, Brad. You're first to hear this. So,
all right, listen up.
Yes, got to listen up. So we received the rural declaration request from CNMI. So what that means is that for Saipan and for Tinian, which weren't included originally in the Bobby presidential declaration, now the homeowners and renters in Tinian and Saipan, because of the rural administrative declaration, they're eligible for the Small Business Administration's homeowner program. That's a little bit different than the actual, as far as the lending amounts for the unsecured amount. So the unsecured amount for homeowners for Typhoon Sinlaku was at $50,000 because of the presidential declaration. Now it drops down to $14,000 for the unsecured amount. They still can go up to the $500,000. It's just that they may see that there's a smaller amount for the unsecured amount. So, for a homeowner that may have just lost some roof or maybe had some, small landscaping or window damage or something like that, that $14,000 may be perfect for them to get back on that road to recover if they had damages from both Sinlaku as well as Bobby. Now, for the renters, it's still at the unsecured up to $100,000. So any personal property, so that's your furniture, your clothes, your appliances, video games, televisions, all those things pretty much that would move with you if you were to relocate, that is considered your personal property, and it would include any automobiles as well that may have been damaged.
And there's plenty of it, and it's all over the place. I know my van got some damage out there. Nothing crazy, but like the amount of sea spray that was coming up through the air. Like I parked for Sinlaku. I was down at Crown, and so there was all kinds of little pecks all over the place that rusted right away. That did not exist beforehand, and in fact, it was weird because it was like a black kind of rust, and then after that, it turned into regular looking rust. So, but this is a common thing that happened after the storm. All kinds of folks had this weird stuff, and it was because of the salt spray that was coming out, the instant stuff. Yeah, it was wild.
I don't even think about that. I don't even think about stuff like that. That's crazy.
Man, and again, just with the vehicles, that is covered, and interest rates are they're actually the same as well, of course it has to be signed by our associate administrator Chris Stallings, but we received the declaration Thursday in California, so we anticipate we'll probably get the approval sometime Saturday or even Monday, and I guess in Saipan here, but interest rates will be at the 2.875%, no payment for a year, no interest accrual for a year. And then for the businesses, again, 4%. And this is a great time. I'll let Nada kind of talk about how we can help out the businesses and the nonprofits on that side. But as far as doing multiple loans for our Saipan Tinian businesses and even Rhoda, but especially with the what we call our economic injury disaster loan program. So I'll pass it to Nada to talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I'm so thirsty. So again, that opens up as well for the businesses and the nonprofits to receive assistance, just like Sinlaku, for both physical and economic injury. So even though, again, as we mentioned before, even though businesses in the Tinian and Saipan area, they didn't get that physical damage, then they can still seek the economic injury. If they had one for Sinlaku, they can still also apply for one for Bobby that helps with their operating costs and expenses. And so the loan amounts, they're the same, up to that $2 million for the economic injury, up to the $2 million for physical damages as well. Of course, combined, it would be a maximum of $2 million. So, but that is also available to the business and nonprofits at the nonprofit rate of 3.625%. And for those businesses, as Corey mentioned, the 4%. The deadline for the physical, because I wanted to mention for Bobby, is October the 3rd. For those that are seeking assistance for the physical damage and economic injury. Do you remember that one?
I think
January.
it's May. I think it's
Why did I say
May
January?
3rd.
May.
I think it's
Yeah,
May 3rd,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
2027, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. And so, so there's plenty of time for that, but we don't want anyone to wait because we're here. And that's been always the message that while we're here, get the assistance that is needed so we can be here to answer any questions and provide that information.
And not going to say any more, more eloquent. The one thing I would add on to that is that businesses, especially in our nonprofits, think about your accounts payable. Think about just the everyday things as far as the economic injury. We can see a roof blown off. We can see windows blown out, water in a building. But the one thing that most businesses and nonprofits don't see is the economic injury aspect. When we think about nonprofits, we think about canceled events. So let's say Liberation Day, for instance. That was set to be July 4th weekend. Now Liberation Day got moved all the way till next week, which is the weekend of August 20th, 21st. Well, for that nonprofit, think about that, Brad, that was anticipated revenue in July. That wasn't anticipated revenue in late August. So though that operating capital that's necessary to keep that nonprofit sustained, that's exactly why we have the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. And then think about it also for, let's say, shout out to one of my favorite spots, the Sushi Spot.
It is a great spot.
Yes.
I love it.
So think about with Durst and Laku. They were out of business for like a month, but then as far as just not being able to operate, then they said for Bobby it wasn't that long. It's about a week, I think he mentioned. But keep in mind that for a small business owner, that is a big hit because just like you mentioned, Starbucks. The Walmarts, they can rebound within 2 or 3 days. They're like, oh, we're right back in order. But let's say we have that small business, they're doing $5,000 a day revenue. Well, you take that times, let's say 20. Now we're at, what is that? I think my math's right. That's a $100,000 loss.
Yes.
Then you take that 5,000 times 5 days. Now we're at 25,000.
And for those guys, that's just if they're not able to bring it in. What about food loss, and all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the key thing now with the physical loss, because of the rural administrative declaration, they can get that recoupment for their inventory because that's a tangible expense. So yeah, that's why we really, we're so thankful for the relationship that Nana's built with you, Brad, and being able to be here and just kind of really share the good news that now the full array of all of SBA's programs is available not only to Rhoda, but now to Saipan and Tinian, effective probably, I would say maybe Saturday our time once it's signed off by Administrator Stallings, but at the latest it'll probably be maybe Monday or Tuesday. But their help is definitely on the way.
Well, that's wonderful news. I mean, that's really good. Now, I can give you a little bit, like when I used to oversee this big part of a big hotel here and everything like that. So I had a big staff, and primarily younger folks who were from here who hadn't really gone out and heard a whole lot about what's going on in the real world and stuff. I don't think of it here as the real world because this is like paradise, right?
It
Like
is
everything's
paradise.
great.
Yes, every day.
Yeah. And you can get by with a lot of local stuff, but credit is a new thing for a lot of folks. Some of those employees, like we had to give them little things to say, hey, look, get a bank account. Don't go across the street, cash your check, and have to spend 10% at that store. It feels good for that first day maybe to have all that paper in your wallet, but that's not going to help you for the rest of your life. So credit, when your people are trying to do something like this with SBA, that's got to factor into it somehow. And do they think about like communities like ours that aren't as that don't have credit as such a big part of their lives?
Another outstanding question on that one, Brad. So one of the good things with the Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience, it actually is a lower credit threshold. Now we do look at credit history and we look at repayment ability, but the minimum credit score is actually dropped down to 575. So that's a big difference when you're thinking about having access to credit. Now, here's the thing that I would tell anyone that, even if they are declined initially, keep that in mind that, it is a loan. So that, sometimes you may get declined for a loan. However, they have up to 6 months to apply for reconsideration. So I always tell everyone a no is never a final no. So what they could do is, whether they want to pull a nod on myself aside or they go to the Survivor Recovery Center, shout out to our customer service representatives that are at the Survivor Recovery Center still working and still servicing. So they can still even get answers and do work on the actual reconsideration aspect throughout that process. But the first basic thing that happens, Brad, you'd be surprised, is people don't read the letter. They'll just
They
say,
just see the headline, just like the news.
Yes.
And a lot of times it may be something small. I mean, somebody may be sitting at a 560, 570, and it may just take to get a cable bill back current, or it may take a payment that was late that was, just need to be made, that, or it may have been an agreement with the mortgage company that you could actually, but wasn't documented. It was written to them, but it wasn't reflected on their credit report. So just the little things, that's what we want to do. And as our administrator Chris Stallings always says, what's the really cost of moving that no to a yes? And we really want to make sure with our excellent customer service staff to do whatever we can to turn that no into a yes. And we know that initially they may get declined, but again, we want to help them in any way to overcome that decline decision.
By the way, we got a question that came in. Marianne says, hey, would I be qualified if I filed, but I wasn't in Saipan during the storm? So it might not be that person, but maybe their property and stuff like that. So I'm stretching on that part, but she said, would I be qualified if I filed, but not in Saipan during the storm?
So to answer the question, I'm going to say it depends. Is it that she just was away at the time because on vacation or for some reason? The answer is if her primary residence is here, yes, she can still apply. We've had people who left or they were on vacation, they evacuated prior to, but their homes got damaged, their business was damaged, and they applied. So to answer your question, yes, if she was not primarily living here at the time of the disaster or her business was not here at the time of the disaster, then to answer that question, that would be highly unlikely because you have to have that as your primary. But again, if it's just that she wasn't physically here at the time for some reason, but she's primarily here as a resident, then she can apply for that assistance.
Awesome. So then the next question I have, and this is good for me as a young-ish business owner.
Yes.
But my business is young. I can stretch it there.
Yes, okay.
But when you're applying for stuff as a business, how does that process work? I mean, it's got to be different than a person, or it's similar.
So it's a little more complex, Brad. So now, depending on the business entity, because I got to put on my attorney hat for a second. So you have a number of different entities. You have your C corp, you have your S corp, LLC. What is yours?
Right now, we're just sole proprietor.
Sole proprietor. So actually, that's the easiest ones for us to process as an actual sole proprietor. Yes, woohoo for sole proprietors. We love our mom and pops. So, but we do have to look at the tax statements. We have to look at your actual what we call and we can kind of help you with this. There's like personal financial statements and what if you have a schedule of liabilities. Most of the time as a sole proprietor, you probably don't have any debt in the actual business name. But if you do, then they need to kind of look at that because that determines the repayment ability if there's any vendors that you owe on a monthly basis. But a lot of times when you're a sole proprietor, what I've noticed is most of those are just individuals. So you don't really have to put them as a business debt. So that will help you as far as being able to determine repayment ability, but the credit history but that's why we have such great customer service representatives at the Survivor Recovery Center. They're open Tuesday through Saturday. Is it 9 to 5 or
8 to 5?
8 to 5.
Yes.
Tuesday through Saturday. The one thing I would tell any business owner here in Saipan, and of course, where I'll let Nada break the other breaking news on the other piece with Rhoda with the Survivor Recovery Center, but with the actual center hours, that's the perfect time for any business owner here in Saipan to meet one-on-one, Brad, with any customer service representative if there's a document that they need. Because one of the things that was as a major document is what's called a 4506C. That's the tax transcript, just to make sure that the taxes are being paid and everything is current. Since we are a federal taxpayer subsidized program, that's going to be one of the key forms. But anything else, a lot of times we can always get that supplemental and try to go ahead and continue to process your loan throughout.
And I want to add in, don't forget about the business recovery centers as well. Yes. We have the Survivor Recovery Center, but we also have our business recovery centers, one down the street from here at the Saipan Chamber of Commerce, who's been absolutely amazing with hosting us. And then also at the One Stop Business Permitting Center up in Capitol Hill. So for those that are in that area and they want to stop by, they could visit either one of those locations. Those two are operating Monday through Friday. And so they're both, the Mariana Plaza, Business Plaza location for Saipan is Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And then our One Stop Business is Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 p.m. So those two are still there. So for some reason, if you want to go on a Monday, you can stop by there. If you